Jordan Spieth wins 18 under. He's the new Masters champion. Jason Sobel was at Augusta, and he joins us now on the program. More impressive, Jason, Tiger Woods in 97 or Spieth this year?
I knew the comparison was coming, Chris. I think it's Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods won by 12 strokes over the next closest competitor. Jordan, of course, only won by 4, and I say only by 4. It was still extremely impressive, but I will take that differential of Tiger over Spieth yesterday.
Isn't everyone, though, invariably going to be compared to Tiger Woods, especially the Americans that are coming up the pipeline?
Yeah, absolutely, and for good reason. And I understand that because Tiger Woods is a once-in-a-generation player, and now we're seeing that next generation, and we want to see who compares with Woods. But I really think this coming generation, and really it's not the future of golf, it's the present of golf, because Rory McIlroy has 4 major championships at 25. Jordan Spieth now has his first at 21. I think it's going to be a collaborative effort so that if you put them all together, maybe together they can equal the career of Tiger Woods. But you've got guys like a Ricky Fowler, like a Brooks Koepka, like a Hideki Matsuyama, who are going to be terrific players for the next 10, 15, 20 years and are going to win these major championships. But I don't think any of them are going to equate to Tiger Woods. So if we're heaping those expectations upon anybody's shoulders, it's not really a fair comparison.
Jordan Spieth has been fixated on winning the Masters, it seems like, since he was allowed in PG-13 movies. I mean, he has been obsessed with this event. How do you see his game translating to other majors like the U.S. Open and the British Open as his career goes forward?
Not so sure the British Open necessarily works for his game. He's going to be a very good U.S. Open player, keeps the ball in play, and he's a terrific putter, as we saw over the weekend. Maybe a little bit of a streaky putter, but as we saw, when the streakiness is on, then he's going to make his fair share of putts. And the PGA Championship as well. I think that suits his game. So he's got at least three of the 4. It's not to say that he can't go to St. Andrews this summer, where he actually played as an amateur and played very well as an amateur and win there. But I think at least the 3 of the 4 suit his game really well, and we're going to see him contending for more majors. I love the kid's attitude. In fact, I got a text message, and I can probably reveal it now, from his caddy, Michael Greller, just a few weeks ago after he finished in second place. It was the first of his 2 second-place finishes coming into the Masters, and he, I thought, was joking around, said, boy, we got to get back to winning. This feels terrible. I hate second place. And I said, ha, he just won the week before, so they had lost 1 in a row, which in golf really isn't too bad. And he said, no, I'm serious. We really have to win again. And I love the fact that they've got that kind of fire, that kind of competitiveness. We hear that all the time about athletes, how competitive they are, and there's no real tangible way of quantifying it. But Jordan Spieth lives his entire life as a competitive type person. When he's not on the golf course, he's playing cards with friends and family. He's shooting pool. He plays ping pong. They were doing all sorts of stuff at his house, his rental house in Augusta this week. And he loves competition. He thrives on it. And as we saw on the golf course this past week, he does pretty well in it as well.
I love the caddy story. Former middle school math teacher, signs on, becomes a caddy full-time, and all of a sudden he's carrying the bag for the Masters winner.
It's a great story. Just 2 years ago, Michael Greller was a 6th-grade math teacher, as you said, in University Place, Washington. Still goes back there and sees the kids once in a while. He actually was a substitute teacher for a day this past winter just to go see the kids and hang out a little bit, but sort of hit a gold mine. He started caddying for a couple of amateurs. They just by chance had a few big amateur events, USGA events, in Washington State by his home near Chambers Bay, and he caddied in those and wound up through some other players, meeting Jordan Spieth, caddied for him. They won the junior amateur and the amateur, and it was sort of history from there. And when Jordan was turning pro, he called up Michael Greller and said, look, I'm going to make a go of this. Do you want to come caddy for me? He took a sabbatical from his job, didn't quit his job, took a sabbatical and started caddying for him a little bit. And with no status on tour, on any tour, Jordan Spieth went from nothing to earning his PGA Tour card, and then reaching the President's Cup in the same year and becoming one of the top players. We all know how he's ascended ever since. It really is a cool story, the fact that he's moved up so quickly. In fact, when I saw him after the win yesterday, he said, you got to pinch me, man. I don't think this is real. I think I'm dreaming this.
He's Jason Sobel, ESPN.com golf writer, joining us here, Dan Patrick Show. All right, Tiger Woods finishes -5. If you're a member of Team Tiger, how do you feel today?
Very, very optimistic. As long as that wrist injury that we saw when he was hitting the ball out of the pine straw on number 9, as long as that's okay, as long as that hasn't ballooned up into something really ugly today, I feel very optimistic about Tiger. Let's remember that 6 days before the Masters actually started, Tiger Woods wasn't even in the field. He wasn't sure he was going to commit to the tournament. He didn't know where his game was, and for him to go from where he was just 2.5 months earlier, chipping balls all over the place, sculling chips in Phoenix and Torrey Pines, to finishing in a share of 17th place at the Masters, I think that's a very good sign going forward, and I think that we can look at Tiger as a contender once again. That doesn't mean he's going to necessarily win a 15th major championship, but a place like St. Andrews, where the Open Championship will be 3 months from now, and he's won twice already, I think that would be a terrific place if you were going to go out on a limb and try to take Tiger Woods to win another major. I think that's not a bad guess to take him there.
Strange place for a tree root to be, no?
It is, and maybe it wasn't a root. They had surmised on the broadcast it might have been a pine cone. Maybe it was a piece of wood. I know one of my colleagues actually went out to that hole at one point and kind of looked at the divot and said he didn't see anything. There's no root under there. There are people with all sorts of conspiracy theories on Twitter.
Yes, now we're talking conspiracy theories, Jason. What was it?
I don't think you can't. Pacino can't act that well, can he? You can't swing the club and show that you're hurt in that sort of split-second moment. I just don't see it. And I don't know why he would do it at this point either. Now, that said, I will call him on the fact that after the round, when he was asked about what happened to your wrist, he said, well, the joint popped out and I popped it back in. And I had medical experts on Twitter already telling me that's not possible. You can't do that. So he might want to refrain from the medical self-diagnoses that he's given himself, the glute activations, and he pushed his sacrum back in he had a couple of years ago. He's got all these sort of self-diagnoses that I'm not sure they're quite from the medical journals.
Good to visit with you, Jason. Safe travels. Appreciate the time.
You got it. Thanks, Chris.
That's Jason Sobel, ESPN.com golf writer here on the Dan Patrick Show.